Welcome to the Magnet. We're live from Beasley Reserve. The Frosties are having a kick in the background, and it's at the moment it's a dominant lead to the Heights. Thanks to Major Tom for live streaming this today. Specialist in podcast editing, marketing via all social media platforms for business and influencers. I'd also just like to thank our sponsors for 2021. Big thank you to Close Constructions from past player Jason Close, Two Moons Financial Services. Thanks to the Moon Boys. BJS Insurance from the Prince of Sandringham, Simon Fanning.
That's it.
Property One, James Bell, who I was lucky to meet last week, a real ripping bloke. Thanks, James. Canterbury Tiles, Thompson's Road Medical Centre, Domino's, which I believe is Janine. She's still running that franchise.
I think she is,
Yep. And I'd like to thank the chef for joining us today.
On a Saturday morning. First time in a long time.
Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah. And don't forget to we're streaming live today. So if you can't get down here today, sit on the couch, live stream it on YouTube.
Worked for me the other
Facebook,
week.
yeah. And you can watch the game live. We've got a good show today. We've got a special guest that's with us today. So a demon tile with him. We're going to catch up with Bully and get a quick rundown of today's game and also a little bit about last week. They met their measuring stick last week in Springvale.
They did. It was a good crack apparently, but they got run over in the end. Yeah. That's good. It's they have a good win the first week before they put you back in the place. So,
exactly.
You know where you stand.
Exactly right. It's a really good thing to have a loss every now and then. And hopefully we'll catch up with Bisho. He might have a bet for us today, or Russel Coight. I don't know where he is in the world at the moment.
No idea. I've just got a thing over from him. He's got his pineapple shirt on, his baggy pants, his hat, and I got know where he is. Yeah. No idea.
Yeah. And no Dave's bet today, sitting behind us having a can, reading his phone. He's not even looking at me. He's not going to appear today. And we've got a best 22 from Barebum. I think we're recycling an old one, but we'll get into that later. We'd like to join Robbie Muller. How you going, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. And thanks for having me here, guys. It was great driving down the PN Highway this morning. Felt like I was coming to game day again.
Beautiful.
Get a bit edgy?
When I got a little bit closer, but that was probably coming into a new club rooms instead of the old club rooms.
Yeah. They're a little bit better than that. They lack a bit of atmosphere, I reckon, sometimes, but they're not a little bit better. You know? They smell better.
Well, they do smell better, but it's what the club deserves.
Sticky.
Yeah, you never climbed the beam. You weren't stupid.
I didn't climb the beam, but I saw it climb quite a few times during premierships, but also just on a Sunday night function. And then a couple of pleasant Sundays as well.
Probably the one of the most stupidest things
you could do. That's right.
The beam. I didn't do it once because I was too fat and I'd hurt myself, and I just thought it was actually a stupid thing to do. But it was amusing at the time, I suppose.
They call it the Dutch courage.
Exactly. Thanks for being here, mate. For those who don't know, tell us a little about yourself, what you're doing now, your family life, and life after footy.
Yeah, well, I grew up in Port Fairy. Dad was a policeman down there and coached a local football club. His background was originally in Melbourne. He played at Port Melbourne and South Melbourne and then went down to Port Fairy. I was born down there, and when I was about 20 years of age, I came up to Melbourne. And currently married. Still married.
Currently.
Yes.
Full of confidence. Right?
No. Got a beautiful wife, Kate, who's been by my side since I've come to Melbourne. A young boy, Billy, who's 8 years of age, just started football, and Gracie, who's 10. So that's my family at the moment. And probably a few probably know I'm a principal at a primary school, Clarinda Primary School, between Oakley and Clayton. Not many people know where we are.
But no idea where it is.
Yeah, so it's about 20 minutes back up the road. Trying to put us on the map at the moment, but it's my 5th year as a principal and really enjoy it at the school.
Well, mate, after this show, Everyone will know where it is.
So they should. We're bringing the quality out to everyone, right?
It's good to hear.
Yeah, so I'm currently involved with Hyatt Football Club, the junior program there, coaching the under-9s. We had our first game last weekend. Really proud to say I got a good record. We're 1 from 0.
1 from 0.
Not that you're meant to score during the modified rules, but the kids know. So
they know, definitely know.
Yeah, and just involved with nippers over the summer period. So
whereabouts is that?
Mentone Surf Lifesaving Club. So
is your brother involved in the one up here?
No. Paul's down at Torquay, and my sister was down there with her family at one stage, but they're not involved with the club down there.
Gotcha. Cool. I don't know where I got that information. I just made it up myself, actually.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, as the third quarter siren goes. Now, Robbie, I believe there's a funny story about you, how you got down to the club, and there's two similarities here. One, that you're in a bar, and the disturbing second part of the story is Travis Coote was there as well.
Yeah, well, it was Travis and also Jeff Arman.
Oh.
I worked at the Bush Inn Hotel in Prahran for a couple of years, and we know those two boys enjoy the syrup. They were drinking into the pub, and we got talking one night. Jeff Arman in particular used to come in nearly every night. He lived just down the road, and he'd say, "Robbie, cook me dinner." So I'd cook him a ham and cheese toasted sandwich one night, and the next night I'd cook the opposite. I'd go cheese and ham and cheese, just mix it up each night. But we got talking. They asked me my football background. I kept on telling them that I was ready to go. I was ready to play, and this is what I'd done in a previous life. And all of a sudden, they took down my name and number. I think it was over the summer of 1999, 2000. I got the phone call from Puppet.
Of course.
I actually remember I was driving along the beach at Port Fairy, hands-free on the mobile phone, of course, but not that they're up and going very well back then. And I had a conversation with Puppet. He invited me down. I didn't know anything about Chelsea Heights at the time.
Did you know where it was?
No idea. It's like you in Clarinda Primary School. But, we soon learnt. He invited me down. I was living in St Kilda at the time. Drove down the Nepean highways. Just kept on going and going and going. And we rocked in.
You gone too far.
Yeah, well, that's true. And we just rocked into the club down at Thames Promenade. And, the rest is history, I suppose.
Yeah.
So very thankful to Jeff and Trav for giving us good patronage in the pub.
Yeah. He's got a bit to answer. They've got a bit to answer for those two. That's sure, haven't they?
They certainly do.
So, what now?
Good question.
Yeah, but you went out of whack, didn't you?
No.
Okay, fair enough. I was just testing you. See? Right on the ball. It's professionalism, Robbie.
I love it.
No?
That's what we're about
down
here.
Write that down.
I've done my homework. I've written down a few notes.
So you told the story before, and I remember before I get to the question, you come down and gave the boys a talk to.
Oh, yep.
In the rooms a few years ago.
Yep.
And you had your old jumper.
Yep.
And we'll get into it. The thing I got out of that night is that you played a little bit, which I'll ask you about, at the Falcons and TAC Cup and at Collingwood reserves. But you always told the boys that when people asked where you played, you always mentioned that you played at Chelsea Heights.
Yeah, look, I ended up playing 130 games, or nearly 130 games down here, and it becomes a part of what you're ingrained within as far as getting to know people, building relationships and all of that. And I really enjoyed my time down here, made some really good friends, and I've spoken about it in other times. If I pulled out my mobile phone and looked at the phone numbers in there, most of them are footballers.
Yeah.
Whether it's from this club or a couple of other clubs that I've been involved in. But that's where a lot of friendships are formed, and I've still got some great friendships from it. And I think the conversation that night was just about enjoying the moment, and you'll come across many different people in walks of life and that sort of stuff. But in a club environment, it's probably the best environment as far as your camaraderie and just building those relationships. So that was the main focus of the night, to enjoy the moment, and they went on and won a premiership.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So what about the Falcons and your previous pre-Heights career, I suppose you want to call it?
Yeah, so I started at Port Fairy, progressed through the juniors and played senior football at the age of 16, 17. And then went into the Geelong Falcons in 1993, which is a really good experience. We used to travel up from Port Fairy to Geelong every Thursday night for football train. I get picked up at 3 o'clock from university when I was studying to be a teacher. Get to Geelong by 5, on the track by 5:30. We'd train, we'd have a team meeting, get back in the car, and back in Port Fairy by midnight on a Thursday night.
Wow.
Back in the car on a Friday to be billeted out on a Friday night, or come up early on Saturday morning to play at the Falcons. Matty Primus was our captain at the time. He went on to bigger and better things, I suppose.
Never heard of the bloke.
Big, tall fella.
He's a gun, yeah.
He coached Port Adelaide for a while and played at Fitzroy. And, I had a really good time there. And we travelled the countryside. I think it was really easy for the recruiters to get to a central venue instead of getting out to the old country football games like they used to see the talent out there. But I learned a lot from there. Went back to Port Fairy, and Ronnie Wearmouth was coaching us at the time.
Legend of a bloke.
Very interesting character.
Got some good stories about him.
I'd say everyone's got a good story about Ronnie, and I believe my family got a few good stories as well. And we won't bring them up
No.
over a podcast right now. But look, he still had his connections at Collingwood at the time, and things were going really well for me as a young footballer at Port Fairy. And I got invited down in 1994 to play 2 games. My first game was against Fitzroy out at Whitten Oval, and the player that I got to play on was Doc Wilden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Doc Wilden had a friend in the crowd give him the race results each quarter, and he followed him down each end of the ground. My first kick, I still remember, I kicked in, and my instruction was to kick to the corner of the half-back flank. Aimed for that, kicked it out of bounds on the full. So I got rid of the nerves nice and early, and then played a good game and got invited back. And the next game was against Carlton at the MCG.
Wow.
Played on Simon Beaumont, and the game wasn't all that good for me, but really enjoyed the experience. Then got invited back to do a pre-season over 1995. Had glandular fever, got through that, and then got to the last practice match and broke my leg.
Oh, geez.
So that was the end of my career at the Collingwood Football Club.
Unlucky.
Yeah,
It's funny how we've had Walshy's story on and stuff like that and things. Did he have glandular fever too?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
There must be something going on with
I
that.
know.
Kissing disease, mate.
But it just, look, I don't want to go up to my own career, but I did go to St Kilda and stuff. There was a bloke called Plugger playing there at the time. And then I realised that I wasn't invited. I just went there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's funny how footy pans out like that. It just takes a little bit of a misfortune and a lot of other things, I suppose. But
and I talk about that a lot, that if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah,
I would have
right.
come down and
Yeah.
enjoyed this
Yeah.
club. I may not have met my wife.
Yeah.
So life takes you in different directions, and it's what you make the most out of it. So
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You played in the Heights Premiership. Tell us about the lead up to that, from what you remember, the day itself, the post-game celebrations, and probably how you reflect on that today.
yeah, look, I think I remember throughout that year we really struggled against Ashwood throughout the whole season, and
Beaten
well,
every game.
I think they beat us three
Three
times
times.
throughout the year. they're little moments in time now that you reflect back and you go, yeah, that's fantastic. Really enjoyed playing nearly 130 games down at the club. Didn't win the best and fairest, but that's something that I'll always be really proud of. And it was probably just an acknowledgement for the people that helped me get there as well. Teammates, supporters, but also my family, because they've been pretty instrumental in my career and supportive of me in my career. So to see it up on the board over there and to look at some of the names, some of them I don't know, some I've never played football with, but I know that they would have been great supporters of the club, not only on the field, but a part of the family down here, which is really important. And, I see Scott up there. Scott came down with me when I first came down. Chris Morgan, who's not up there, he came down with me. He's my brother-in-law. My brother came down, Paul. We got Jono and Nuge down. So it's not only about how you perform on the field, it's about how you've given back to the club as well. I'm really proud of those of that and that achievement.
Well, you're part of our Legend series for a reason. We've got some great legends coming up, and you fit perfectly in that bucket. So it's great to join us today. Finally, do you have a demon tale or a little story that you might have that you can share with us?
You'd have plenty.
I've got plenty. I've kind of done a 5-to-1, just to touch on a couple of points. And one thing I used to love on a Saturday was coming down here and Brian Gately coming around trying to get money out of players for the raffle tickets. Yep. And he used to call Nuge the turtle because every time Nuge saw him, he'd retract. I think Larks on one of our footy trips down to Warrnambool, he drove his car down. Very silly of him. We stole his front tyre and we buried it in the sand down at the Warrnambool beach. Always used to love seeing Slugger in the club rooms after a game, just punching into the ceiling as we sang the song. We had that going. Justin Irving one night got hit by a car on his way to the Village Bell Hotel and kept on drinking, got up and kept on drinking. But I think the favourite tale of all time, and it probably relates to my brother a little bit, he organised a footy trip for us, probably around 2003. The Moon Boys, we know them pretty well. They nicknamed him the organiser because it was that poorly organised. We got up to the Gold Coast. We got to our accommodation and we got in the lift. And when you get in the lift, where do you think you're going? You think you're going up. We went down. They took us down to a basement. We've opened up this door and it's just a long, narrow room of bunks on either side.
Oh, no.
Geez, I know the Chelsea Height boys are here. And so, like all footy trips, you enjoy a beverage. And we thought, well, the weather's really nice, and why don't we go out to Wet and Wild for the day? So how do we get out there? There's 12 of us, I think, on the footy trip. How do we get out there? And the Moons come up with a great idea. Let's hire a car. So they hired a Tarago. The only problem is by the time we ran into a few other mates up there was 16 of us in the Tarago, hanging out of the Tarago, driving out to Wet and Wild. And, of course, the brothers, they had a holiday house or an investment property up there at the back of Wet and Wild, so we had to drive through the back roads, and they took us on a scenic trip. And we got through there, 16 of us hanging out the back of the Tarago, but seats about 8 people in the end. And we spent the day at Wet and Wild, had a great time, and then just really enjoyed our time on the Gold Coast. And it still comes up year to year about the Tarago. Let's get the Tarago.
So I never knew about the bunks, so that was the first time I heard.
Yeah, so it was poorly organised, but it was probably one of the most enjoyable footy trips that we've been on. So,
well, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. We know you've got another engagement to get to. Yeah. So we look forward to seeing you on Past Players Day to hear some more stories.
Yeah.
So thanks very much for joining us, Robbie.
Good
really
on you,
appreciate
mate.
it.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks Toddy. And Toddy, we always enjoyed your meals, mate. Every Thursday night.
Soup.
The spaghetti soup.
That's one thing I'll never forget.
Always very juicy, mate. But we're always very thankful for the grub on the table that you put for us, mate. So thanks for your time, guys. All the best.
We're got some bully stepping in now. If he's ready to come across, you want to just tap him on the shoulder, Robbie, and get him over here. And you ready? You're up first. Thanks for joining us, Bully, and thanks for your time.
No worries. I've got a question for you boys before you start. Do you ever run on time, you blokes?
This guy here as well.
I'm very OCD and I'm very by the clock and throwing me out of the routine. No, I'm right. You're right. We got plenty of time.
I was going to say.
Hey? Mate, get it right. Get it right.
This is quite all right. Thanks for joining, Bully. I know that you're pushed for time today. We all been pushed for time. Run us through the expectation of today's games and basically what happened last week.
I'll start with last week. We played Springvale Districts, who they've obviously one of the sides to beat, and arguably been the best team in the comp for probably 3 or 4 years now. So we knew we were up for a challenge. The boys played a great first half of footy, and we were right in the game at half time. After half time, a few things didn't go our way. We didn't take our chances. They did, on the other hand. We got a bit undisciplined at the end of the game, which is probably the most disappointing thing that we took out of the day. And we gave them a few easy ones. So, that was pretty much a rundown of last week. We will take more positives and negatives out of the game. We think that we challenged a pretty good side for, half, maybe 3/4 of footy. And then for a couple of reasons, obviously, just weren't good enough on the day.
Yep, that's good. And you probably just answered my next question, but I just wanted to say, how was that feeling for you, having that that first initial win and having the loss? How did you cope that? And also, this is something I learned from Chelsea Heights and then playing another club. I know the culture here has changed, but when I used to play at Chelsea Heights, we used to lose. Everyone we'd all have a laugh and a drink after the game, and everything was fine. I went to a club called South Montana, and we played in a loss. And I come off the ground, I was expecting that the laugh and whatever, and you could hear a pin drop. It really hurt, and I hadn't experienced that before. I played in a club with a losing culture, and then gone to a club with a winning culture where a loss really, really hurt.
Yep.
Did you sort of see that at Springvale? Did that really?
The boys were obviously pretty disappointed, and they weren't. So obviously we go to win every week, but they weren't disappointed in probably the win-loss thing. It was more what happened in the second half and the undisciplined things. I don't think we gave up as a footy team, but they were disappointed with that. So we actually had a really good chat in the rooms, and we've spoken about it during the week about what we want to nullify today, and that's obviously undisciplined acts. That they're the main thing that we took out of it. That we can't have that, because it costs you games of footy. So if we see any of that today, I'll be really disappointed. We just had a chat in their rooms, funnily enough, and I just asked them how they felt about last week and what they were expecting to get out of the games today. Because I think when we have such a big win and then you have a loss, that element of doubt comes back into your mind. And we're not. Obviously, I've said it before. We do want to win every game, but the chance of that happening is very low. And we just spoke about in there, we're not looking to 4 or 5 o'clock today the win-loss straight away. It's just our attitude and being ready and buying in today and having a red hot go. And if we go out there and give our best for 4 quarters and we're not good enough, well, that's fair enough. But we think that we're improving each week, and we think we've improved each week from 2 years ago when we started pre-season training. We think we're gradually getting better, and that's what we spoke about inside today. Was we just want to keep making steps and moving forward.
Yep, thanks for that.
We're talking about the depth of this year, because it's been something the Heights have lacked for a lot of years. So, at the start of the year, you've got 2 teams, a couple of injuries go, and then the seconds are depleted. And if anything else anymore, then they're really struggling. So how's the depth this year? There seems to be a lot on the track.
There, we've been getting great numbers on the track. 35 odd Tuesday nights and usually over 40 on a Thursday night, which has been great. Obviously, the twos are out there and they're up by 10 goals, and they've had to ring up 5 or 6 to fill a side this week because we've got a few injuries and there's a few guys unavailable. But they're out there and they're up by 10 goals. So the depth is good. When we get a full list to pick from, I think that's going to be some exciting times for the footy club. But I think it's just about creating an environment where guys want to rock up and they want to be a part of it. And I think that's what we've been really good at doing, not just on field and training, but off field as well. Like, these guys are really happy to come to training and they're happy to hang around and they're happy to be around footy and their mates again. And I think that's kind of followed down the line, because there's a lot of guys that will rock up. Might be, 1 week with a mate of theirs that wants to play footy, or someone that might have come and watched it thinking maybe I won't play footy. They get the feel around the place and they think, maybe I want to get involved in that.
Yep.
And that's really important. Where I've come from, that's been really important. That's something that they've based their footy club on, and that's what I'm pretty strong on as well. So I said to the boys during the week, I'm not here just to coach the 22 that run out on a Saturday between 2 and 5. I'm here to try and grow and grow a footy club on and off field and all the way through. So I'll help out and get everyone involved as much as they can. I think it's really important.
Little question. We play against Jackson Fry today.
Yes.
Jacko's he's a good. I like Jacko. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
He's a cheeky bastard.
Yeah.
He's a good footy player. He's disappointed we missed out in the grand final a couple of years ago.
Yep.
With his leg.
Yep.
Are we going to give him any? How are we going to deal with the Jacko situation?
We have touched on Jacko. I watched Hampton Park's game last week and established that he's a very nice, long, clearing kick of the footy. So we've put it on our forwards this week to make sure that whenever he has any ball that he's under pressure, we don't want him to be able to take space and to really clear that back half, because we know that he can kind of get it over centre wing, and if we're slow to react, it can probably punish us. So we have put a little bit of work into him. So there's guys there that we just, when they win the ball back across there, we just want to nullify that really quickly and man him up. And if he does kick the footy, we want to make sure that he's kicking it under pressure.
Like I said, I wish him all the best. He's a good kid, Jacko.
Yeah, I don't know him that well. I've obviously heard the name quite a bit, and I watched the footy last week, and he's obviously a pretty important part to their side. I'd love to have him run around for us. So.
I think Papa might have been working over a little bit over the time, a little bit just picking.
Yeah, so no, you play against your old club. There's always a little bit of feeling and stuff in it. So we're not going out there to get stuck into him, but we don't realise how important he is. So we'll be definitely keeping an eye on him.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for your time. We better let you go and get yourself prepared.
No worries at all, boys.
Thanks for that.
Cheers,
Good luck.
No worries.
See you after the game.
Cheers,
cool.
mate.
Well,
and we're playing the Parkers.
We're playing the Parkers.
Hampton Park.
Oh, God.
I don't have any good memories of playing Hampton Park.
I've one good one. One good one. We played.
Leading unscathed.
We had a season where I think we started off with won our first 4 games.
Okay.
And we played Hampton Park at home, and we beat them by a point. They had a kick after the siren to draw the game. And I myself marked the ball on the line to stop the point.
Oh, nice.
And I just remember that feeling of, hang on, we're going all right here. We won our first 4 games. It was the year that we had guys like Mark Seckle and all that sort of guys playing, and then we went to Cranbourne and got thumped by 20 goals. I don't think we won a game for the rest of the year, but that was a good memory. Beating them out here.
I think I can't remember, but I think we beat. It was 42-20, so 2 points one day we beat Hampton Park.
Yeah,
but I've also been on the
other end.
Of absolute flogging and a bashing. They locked us in one day. They closed the gates and locked us in. It was the first place I ever went to. They had bars on the canteen. Yeah. And I wasn't sure if it was to stop people stealing shit or stop the crazy women stuff in there like attacking the players. So I think the pies were okay, and that's about it. But it was always good to leave. Yeah. There's actually, I can't remember that. People think there's a guy he used to play against footy with. I haven't seen him for probably 30-something years. So he's out there. I'm going to have a chat with him this afternoon. And I might end up with a punch-up, probably, as usual. But yeah, not too many good. So it's bizarre to see me playing Hampton Park again in this league.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jackson Fry, I might have to just venture up one end and give him a little bit of stick. Might walk down the goals. And,
I can't do it. I'm not. I haven't got that. No, I don't like doing stuff like that.
He seems like a really nice guy.
He's a good kid, Jacko. I like him.
Just mentioning Past Players Day, just for anyone that hasn't heard, round 7 versus Caulfield Bears, May 22nd. Your Past Player membership, $50, includes a club membership. So support your club to the value of $50. A 4-quarter can pack, a lunch that we're going to speak to the chef about. Hopefully, he can organise something for us there. Halftime speeches, we've got the Thirds 2010 Premiership reunion. We're hoping to get Jeff Armand down to present something to the guys and introduce his side to us. Hopefully Ryan Flack can come down to discuss I think it was the 2010 grand final loss, or 2011. We've got one of them. We've got some live entertainment, hopefully. And the most important thing is we want the current players and Bully himself to mingle with the past players, introduce and have a chat after the game. Would just be fantastic to get that sort of access. Be fantastic.
Should be a good day. We've already got a few past players locked in, a few legends coming.
Yeah, we have. We've got 2 guys that have just paid up last week. So we've got the Barebum and Badger. So
nice.
Yeah, so we'll get the cards organised, and we'll get them out to run. And I'll put up shortly some banking details and an email address if you want to pre-join. Otherwise, on the day we will set up a table and you can register there. We'll get a few details off you so we can keep in touch with you as well. Also, I believe you're working on something special. I'm not going to give it away. My dad once told me loose lips sink ships.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to say too much about it, but I know you're working on a special project that I am really, really excited about.
It is very exciting. It's I can't say too much because I want it to be a surprise. So we're just trying to work out at the moment how we're going to fund it.
Yep.
Do we ask for some generous donations off a few good sponsors? Hey, Rang, you're out there. Or do we have a raffle? So I think probably the fairest way is to have a raffle.
Yep.
And it's I don't know what the prize is, but maybe $20 a ticket. We don't have to sell a lot of tickets.
Yep.
But what the prize is something super special.
Yeah.
It's something I'd love to win.
Invaluable. I'll put it as invaluable.
For your $20, you couldn't buy it.
You couldn't buy it.
You can't even put a price on it.
Yep.
How good it'll be.
Yep.
It's just something we've been looking at. You and I have been talking about the last probably 18 months or so.
Yep.
And I spoke to a few people who we need to get involved with. They're super keen.
Oh, great.
We just need to do a bit of homework, get a few things off a certain amount of people.
Yep.
And get it done and put in the works. But it's whatever it's worth. Like I said, for $20, if I won it, it's invaluable.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
Pride of place.
Yep.
You know what I mean? In my house. It's just then, like I said, I can't say too much because I don't want to spoil it. I want to be a very secret and special raffle. Hopefully, I'd like to probably present it or win it on or either. What do you reckon?
Last round or
presentation night or something.
Presentation
night because it's something super special. So,
yeah. Yep.
It's next week or next show. I'll have all the details and how we can buy.
Maybe the prize. We could have a special table for the prize.
Yeah, that's
of those of what we're talking about without giving too much away.
Yeah, exactly. So and look, we'll throw on that. We'll throw on a few things as well.
Yeah.
The first, second, and third prizes as well. But like for $20, what you'll win is something that you'll cherish forever.
Yeah. So second prize is 2 Holden Chimera's and third prize is 4 Holden Chimera's.
Yeah, and one of those $1.5 million houses on the Gold Coast. You know how it works.
Yeah, you know it works.
Third prize is about 2 cans. That's where you're going to get.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea, and like I said, I'm super excited to see the finished product. But
unbelievable.
Yeah, me too. I think amazing. Will be amazing. We might try and get Bisho if he's not out surfing.
No, he's out somewhere. He's on the punt somewhere.
He's on the punt.
He just said big day watching the races. And I don't know if you can see that. I don't know where we're pointing to. But he's dressed in his finest.
Are they pineapple pajamas?
Pineapple. I'm not sure if they're pineapple. I don't know what he's dressed in. He's man batter. He's on the. I think he's on the 4H Gold. I'm pretty sure
on the Goldies. I like the Goldies. Yeah,
but he's somewhere. And there's obviously where you can have a bet.
We have a bet.
I don't know where we left him last time, but he's out there. So I messaged him before. He said give us a call. I said about 1:30. We're running a little bit late today, as per usual. But
I can see in the background one of our great legends right behind your shoulder there. I'll give him away. There he is, the Dutchman. There you go, Dutchy. He might be a guest on our show coming up. Could be. He could be one of our legends.
He's an old school guy.
Yeah.
And a bit older than the rest of them. So, yeah, he'd have a few stories to tell.
He would have a few stories to tell.
Could play.
He could play. Great player. We'll just see if we can get
technical issues today.
Trying to get this show.
What, the phone don't work?
No, it's not working.
Paid the bill.
Have you paid?
Bill.
I was at the doctor's the other. That's all I do now. I was going to the doctor's.
Yeah.
And they're saying they're trying to ring the doctor to try and get some thing, a script done and stuff like that. Nothing works. I couldn't. So I hadn't paid the bill.
Yeah.
Right, but I couldn't ring anyone. I couldn't ring Nicole to pay the bill because you can't use the phone when you don't pay the bill.
Right. There we go. We might get him here.
Hello.
Bisho, you'll be on it.
Hey, another goal by Bisho. You're guilty.
What's happening, champion?
What's happening? Yeah.
We're just sitting there having a few beers watching the races up here at Howlong.
It's tough. It's tough.
Where are you? We were guessing where you are.
Yeah, we're at Howlong, in between Aubrey and Corowa.
Oh,
Yep.
That's
I know where Howlong is.
How long are you going to be there for?
We'll be here till September, I think.
Oh, have you been to the Tokemore races? before?
No, not yet. No, no.
Get to the Tokemore races. It is unique. It's only got the outside rail. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a really
I
good
love
day.
those old country. Yeah, those country meets. They're sensational.
Yeah. Take your esky.
I thought you said country.
Yeah, I think I did. I'm only 5 cans in, mate.
When we listened back, I'm pretty sure you didn't. I think you shortened that version.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
what's the go with the races today? So any of our listeners want to have a bet?
we're at Caulfield today, mate. Race 6, number 1, Alpha Oro. About $2.90, $3. It'll be winning. They should win.
Okay.
And the each way bets in Sydney. Race 8, number 14, Nudge.
Rates 8, number
Nudge.
14.
Nudge. Week, Nudge.
Hey, like huge. Hey.
Okay, so race 6, number 1 at Caulfield, Alpha Oro. And race 8, number 14 in Sydney, Nudge. And
Nudge,
I'm
each
going
way.
to have a little lazy bet on the biggest non-winner ever, just for a place, because that's all it does, called Kementari.
Oh, yeah, Kevin.
Yeah. So I might have a little place bet in that. I think he's in the all-age stakes, is it? Race 7?
Yeah, he's in the all-age. He's a class act, but you never know, mate.
He doesn't win, but I just back him for a place. He'll be about $10 a place.
That's right. The old Tom Melbourne.
Yeah, the old Tom Melbourne, spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's happening down there?
Not much. We're playing. I don't know. You would have probably played. We're playing Hampton Park today.
Yeah.
It's the
Oh,
first-
yeah.
first
No,
time-
Essendon.
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's in the Colts. Yeah, the Redbacks.
First time we played them in a long time, probably before the Southwest Gippy League.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've got my back to them, so I'm a little bit nervous.
So
Yeah.
So the seconds have had a good win. They had both teams had a good win the first round. Got touched up a little bit last week, and the seconds have won by 96 points today. So,
Yep.
That's good.
yeah, just waiting for the ones to come out and then show their stuff today. So hopefully they'll get up and have a good win.
Yeah, hopefully they do. Yeah. Where's Hampton Park on the ladder?
Oh, they've had, I
Midfield.
think, about midfield.
Yeah.
That's what, so round 3, they've
Okay.
had one win, one loss, I think.
Yep.
So it's obviously early days. So.
yeah.
But it's an important day
Yeah.
for us to, we need to get
Yes, that's right.
come 2-1 up today and set our mark on get our stamp. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Nice.
What's the weather
No,
like
good
up
luck.
there?
Bloody cold, mate. I wake up with bloody 0 here.
Oh, that is cold.
When you're in the sun, it's quite nice. It's about 17 or something. But yeah, I've got all my Queensland clothes on. I sent you that photo, mate.
Yeah, I see that. I think you're
trying
faking.
to No, I tried to channel some Queensland weather.
I was looking at that because I've got Carly's coming down today, actually. She's making a surprise visit.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and I rang up during the week. I said, you might want to rug up. It's fucking freezing down here.
It's cold.
And
Yeah, we've
she
been to
goes,
Kmart. We've been everywhere.
Oh, that's
Buying
right. She goes,
jackets.
I don't own a jacket. I said, well, so we've got an hoodie for her.
Okay, yeah.
And we might have to rug her up, but she's not looking forward to coming down here in the cold. She's freaking, like a bad day in Byron Bay is about 23. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to buy these things the other day. They're called socks. I haven't had them on for 30 years.
what? Well, to be honest, have you noticed?
No thongs.
No thongs.
No
and
thongs, first time
I've got
ever.
jeans on. So I
Yeah.
don't think I've wore jeans for 18 months at least. And
Yeah.
shoes. And I call bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bullshit. Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
No, for sure.
All right, mate. I'll let you go. Thanks for the tip.
All right.
And we'll speak to you soon.
Give our best to the lovely
Yeah.
three.
Yeah, I will, mate. And hopefully I'll be down the 22nd. And good luck today with the boys.
Thanks for
mate.
that.
Good on you, Bish.
No worries.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we're just about ready to wrap it up because Kodge is getting ready to live stream the game.
Is
we
he a
hope.
bit stressed? What's
Yeah.
going on? with the
Have you
guys?
got the best 22 up there? We'll just put it up.
He got nearly banned from Facebook again.
He's been hacked again.
Hacked.
Hack's the word.
How do you get hacked?
I know. Twice.
Twice.
Yeah. I can't even get one.
I know. A little bit dirty, actually, myself.
Best 22's up there.
So what are we doing the best? We've rehashed 22.
It's a mosquito squad.
Mosquito
So I
squad?
don't need to read it out. I'll just put it up on the screen
Put it up
because I
there.
can't see it.
Neither can I.
I know Badger design one, but I'll have to get it off Barebum. We'll get Barebum to
We
send
can
it
get
through.
that through.
Yeah, we'll get that through.
But I don't want to blame anyone for this week's model, but all I'm going to say is Codger. That's all I'm saying. And I'll say I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying, just mentioning your name.
Yeah.
And it's been a bit difficult the last couple of weeks trying to get it all together.
Yep.
And it's like we're only going to be doing every second week at the home game.
Yeah, every second
Which
week
is
home
okay.
game. We'll keep our Legend series going.
Yeah.
You've got the secret list that
I've
you've
got a list.
quietly just put together, and
That's all I've got.
yeah, I
That's the list.
just get an email and just get told that this
Yeah,
week we
mate.
Mallet. It's Robbie Mallet, and I
Next
just get
week,
told.
I've got a couple. I had to reconnect with a few blokes I haven't seen for a long time, a few
Cool.
legends.
Yep.
So they came to mind, and give them a ring up, and they're more than happy to come on the show. So I'm not exactly sure I've got next week.
Yep.
But I reckon I've penciled in one, and probably one. All I'm going to say is one of the hardest men to ever play at Chelsea Lights.
Wow,
A hard man.
man.
Very
Love it.
hard,
Love it.
exactly. But a lovely bloke as well. So
Love it.
unless he can't turn up, and I'll go to Plan B.
All right, we'll go. We've got no Dave's joke. He's having a few cans. He wouldn't be on screen today, but that's all good.
He's nervous.
He's nervous. Yeah. All right, till next
Week.
next
Next
fortnight.
fortnight. I
Yeah,
suppose.
we'll go from there.
We'll go from there.
It's a wrap.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers.